Hello everyone and welcome back to Cali Call of Darkness. And this time we're back with episode 4 of season 1 and now I'm pretty intrigued. I wouldn't say I was terrified, but I was a little freaked out about the underworld. I'm just gonna call it that. And yeah. Now let's see what's happening. The group arrives at the scene of a ritual murder and only recently taken place. Amala finds out that it hasn't been the first. She has an opportunity to get to know her colleagues. Okay. You know, I have the feeling sooner or later we are gonna get possessed. Episode 4, The Symbol. Warning, this episode contains detailed description of corpses and violence that may be upsetting to some players. Please read on with caution. Okay, people, we have been warned. If one of you is sensitive or just can't stand to see that, then please just skip to a safe part, okay? We got to the crime scene fairly quickly. The taxi driver took us to the street we needed, avoiding the traffic jams of Calcutta. Lima was gloomy the entire ride. I didn't want to bother her with many questions, so I just sat there staring out the window in silence. I had a lot of thoughts running through my head, as usual. If Killian had the local police let him know of all unusual murders, he really must believe that someone might have harmed the diplomat. But Lima said that the body discovered was not his. This victim was also killed as part of some ritual. Do we have any reason to think that the diplomat may have fallen victim to a ritual? Regardless, I have a bone to pick with Rose and Killian. How come there's always someone else deciding where I should or shouldn't be? Okay, Amala, take a deep breath. We'll figure it all out. I mean, this time I can understand them because they saw that you were not feeling well. I mean, technically they could have asked. But I think they were trying to do this to protect her because they saw that she wasn't alright. And they were like, nah, let her take this day off to recover from the shock that she went through. So I understand why they said, yeah, this time we're just gonna leave her out. I just need to appear confident. Are you ready? Yes. Good. You know, it's not going to be a pretty sight. If that doesn't bother you, then we can go ahead. Let's go. We headed towards an alley where a group of Indian police officers was stationed. Lima showed her criminologist ID and we both showed the temporary clearance issued by Mr. Rose. The officers lifted the barrier tape for us. We slid under it and continued down the alley. Oh my god. As soon as we got there, the full odor of human decomposition hit us. Eee. Yeah. I winced but tried not to show my disgust. The smell is strong here, but not strong enough. Not strong enough? This person hasn't been dead for long. Otherwise the smell would have made you vomit. Very encouraging. Thanks. There were uniformed police officers everywhere, discussing something, frowning and looking askance at us. They seemed worried, almost frantic. Lima quickly walked towards our colleagues, who were only a few feet away. I followed. They're all wearing masks. Killian and Mr. Rose were standing together, with their backs turned to us. Ratan Vaish was conversing quietly with a policeman, his hands clasped behind his back. He noticed us and our eyes met. He's so cute, though. Ratan greeted me with a nod. Unlike the rest of those present, he looked calm. Let's go over to our colleagues. We approached them, and Lima coughed to get their attention. They turned around. Emmett Rose immediately averted his gaze to the side to avoid looking at me. Miss Khan, Miss Burke, you're here. And you don't seem happy about that. Despite everything. Come on, girl. Whip his ass. Killian's smoky gray eyes met mine. Amala. Captain Lightwood. The tension. And that's not even sexual tension. That's like, there is some serious issue. I can't. Honestly, I understand that she's upset because it's not the first time that happened, so she could understand it differently, but I actually do believe that they meant well when they said let her stay in for the day. Because they're not stupid. They don't really fully understand what went on that day in that hotel room, but they saw that she wasn't okay, so they were like, give her a day to recover. I mean, being traumatized, that's not gonna change within a day, but hey, she seems a little too extra sometimes. Like, I understand where she's coming from, but still, like, don't judge someone's intention that quickly. Give them the benefit of the doubt. It was as if an electric discharge passed between us, and we understood each other without saying a word. He saw that I was upset because of what he'd done, and I saw that he regretted it. I mean, girl, but he wanted... Oh, he meant well. Not now, not here. We'll talk about it later. Killian could see that I wanted to express my frustration. Agree. Stop being so dramatic. Focus on work, and after that you can talk about all of your frustration you have. Even though I don't understand why. I think she should be more worried about what the maid told her than this. I lifted my chin proudly, a neutral expression on my face. Fine, whatever you say. In any case, bringing it up here would be inappropriate. We should get to work. You decided to stay calm. What's there to... Oh, I actually can't with this. Like, give someone... Doesn't matter if you can't stand them for the moment or that you're pissed at them. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Trust me, it's better like that. Because depending of your personality, no matter how good someone means it, you can always understand it wrong. And misunderstandings are the worst reasons to fight. Give someone the benefit of the doubt. Relieved, Killian looked at me with respect. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Quickly, he switched to work mode. Respect. Okay. Respect me, Killian. Let's go, respect me. Yes, let's get down to business. Killian gestured to the side where the local forensic expert was finishing up taking photos. Armed with a massive camera, the man was taking pictures from various angles. I caught a glimpse of his face as he stepped away. He looked pale and disconcerted. Once he left, we could all finally see the revolting scene for which we had come. The naked body of a man sat in front of us, his back against a concrete wall. His hands, filthy and bloodied, lay limp next to him. I can imagine that would be a different situation being front to front with a dead body. Honestly, I don't know how I would react. But I don't think that I would be completely calm like I can be right now. Like, seeing it in television and reading it is not as horrifying as seeing a dead body literally in front of you. I have respect for people who are capable to do this job, honestly. The man's skin was pale gray and dull, dotted with brown blood spots. Dirt was stuck under the broken nails of his tense fingers, which were still half clenched, as if he had been crawling somewhere before dying. It was hard for me to look at it. The worst part, however, was something else. The body had been brutally decapitated. Oh my god, why? Why decapitated? Don't remind me of Teen Wolf Season 3, please. Desecrated, stripped of its identity, and dumped into a filthy alley. Wow. A spasm twisted my gut, and I couldn't even take a breath to stop the dizziness. The lingering stench of decay overwhelmed me. I'm not sure, so don't take my word for it, but doesn't decay happen after 24 hours? Or after 12 hours? I don't know, but he must have been dead for a long time then. Oh god, it's unbearable. Such atrocious cruelty. Murder just for the sake of murder. Killian cast a quick glance towards me to gauge my reaction. He's worried about us. He was worried that we would still need a bit of time to continue work after yesterday's event. So he was like, let her stay at home for the day. Like, he meant so well. That's so cute. Girl, be nice to Killian. If I have a choice, I'm gonna be nice to him. I felt nausea rise in my throat. The full odor of the corpse was already revolting enough, but now I had to face its horrific source. Path of loyalty. I managed to control my gagging urge, but my expression gave me away. I let out a long sigh. Such a terrible sight. I was afraid you'd feel sick. No, I'm strong. This would make anyone sick. I've never seen a dead body in my entire life. If you want, I'll take you out of here. Lima is so cute too. No, I want to stay here with all of you. Let us know right away if you start to feel sick. I nodded awkwardly, trying to look at anything but the corpse. Girl, you have to work with that corpse. I don't think that she has to do. Never mind. There was no point in trying to put on a brave face when I didn't have it in me. It was extremely hard to look at the body. Breathe, just breathe, and don't look at that. There is still a lot to investigate, but a few things stand out to me. What's wrong, sir? The most noticeable is the fact that the corpse has been decapitated. I'm curious about that sign on the wall. You see that? Without a doubt. Based on my personal experience, this type of murder is not very common, so it stands out. Not many people would bother with a beheading. The man's feet and hands are still there, so this means that he was not beheaded to hide his identity. The murderer had a different goal in mind. If this was a ritual killing, then the beheading had to be part of it, right? No doubt about it. But for what kind of ritual do you need your victim to be beheaded? Ha! Now this is something interesting. That's something interesting. The caption has a unique and nuanced meaning in Hinduism. The absence of the head on a body is an obvious sign. Without us noticing, the guide had joined us, standing behind us. They all sound so nonchalant, discussing the crime while standing over the poor victim. Rayton's dark eyes were fixed on me. Him as well? I love these two. Are you okay, Miss Khan? Are you feeling all right? I'm fine. Besides, I'm not the only woman here. True, but a criminologist, I've seen my fair share of dead bodies. I sighed tiredly and pointed at the victim. Let's not worry about me, but about this unfortunate man. What reason could anyone have to commit such a heinous crime? Not long ago, this man was alive, probably a loving person with people who cared about him. Yet he was chased out and viciously stabbed to death. He must have begged for mercy, called for help, resisted, and suffered. Oh, we have empathy. Okay, my empathy was getting the best of me. I wished I could just concentrate on the details with cold-blooded determination. You are still human. You're not a robot. you are pure-hearted. As soon as you see something that touches you, you're gonna feel empathetic. That's something. Oh, look at us almost crying. Stop staring at him, Amala. Work hard and keep up with everyone else. I try to join in the conversation. Another thing that bothers me is the fact that the corpse was drained of its blood. Huh? The local medical examiner said there was almost no blood left in the body. It's not that unusual when the head is cut off. I have more questions about the symbol painted with blood on the wall. Thank you, Lima. That's why you are an icon. I literally said this. They all were fixated on the body on the ground. I'm interested about the sign on the wall. What's that symbol? And the fact that the body was dumped here. The murderer wanted to make a statement. Everything is displayed in a very dramatic way in order to draw attention to it. What symbol? Here, above the body, on the wall to be precise. It will get easier if you focus on this. I raised my eyes to the wall the body was leaning against. A circle with a dot in its center was drawn with a brown liquid. It encircled a crescent moon. Miss Cowan, can you tell us anything about this symbol? Do you know anything about it? This is a symbol of the moon and the sun. Is the sun the circle with a dot? Yes, I believe so. The sun is generally associated with power, greatness, and strength, but I've never seen it paired with the symbol of the crescent moon. I would love to think the sun means good and the moon means evil, as in the opposites, you know. What does the crescent moon mean? In Hinduism, it means wisdom and longevity. It's especially common in Shaivism, but I'll need some time to dig up information on the moon-sun conjunction. This isn't typical. There's not much to speculate about. A ritual murder for show. The head is chopped off and a symbol is left for all to see. For now, we have no reason to link this murder to the disappearance of our diplomat. I will keep an eye on the situation. Okay, I'm just gonna stop right there. Sir, there is something I have to say. What use does it have for a killer to want to make a statement, painting a symbol on the wall that no one understands? If you want to make a statement, that means you want someone specific to see, someone that understands it. So he probably meant for someone to understand it. I would think some of the Indian culture, because apparently this is a sign of Hinduism. I don't know. So he wants someone that understands the sign to understand what's going on. Mr. Rose nervously turned away from the scene of the murder, clearly needing to take a breather. The sight was depressing, and it affected everyone there. In the damp alley, the strong and poisonous aura of death felt tangible. I returned to Rayton, remembering an important question. Oh, and what case did the victim belong to? The Oishais. This man was an elderly merchant, honest and well-respected. He came from a family of merchants. Huh? The murder of a member of an upper caste? The police was able to identify him quickly. Take a look if you're interested. Rayton handed me a document with the victim's name and photo. I gasped and almost dropped the documents as soon as I saw the photo. What's wrong? I know him. Immediately a memory of the cheerful Jewel. No! That was the one. Oh. I am done. That was the one that handed us or wanted us desperately to buy jewelry in the first episode when we met Killian. No, I can't. Immediately a memory of the cheerful jewelry vendor I encountered on my first day in Calcutta came to my mind. Yeah, Annie Stone was such a beautiful girl. Killian looked at the photo over my shoulder, then frowned. Yes, Miss Khan is correct. I remember him too. The old man sold jewelry at the bazaar. That's so sad. Murder is a terrible crime Murder is a terrible crime itself, but choosing to murder someone from the merchant caste, the third most powerful caste in the country, if the killer is caught, he will have a hard time. Okay, let's get out of here. There's nothing left for us to do here. Something doesn't feel right. In my university lectures on the history of modern India, we were told that the country was working hard to reduce the crime rate. It was important for them to make the lives of people from the lower caste safer, because they were the ones who most often became victims of various crimes. Today, the murder of a lower caste person is severely punished, so murdering a member of the merchant caste is simply unimaginable. This goes against all legal and religious Indian laws. My thought process was interrupted by male voices nearby. I wouldn't have cared about the conversation if I hadn't overheard a few phrases that seemed unusual. They were talking in hushed tones. I'll take my wife and kids and get out of here. To hell with it. We all understand where this is going. I don't want my family to go through the same we did back then. If they survive, that is. They continued to speak quietly to each other. I started paying more attention and took a few steps closer, trying to act casual. What do they mean by back then? It didn't seem to me that anyone here looked particularly scared. They sure know a lot more than they let on. I better keep eavesdropping so to gather information bit by bit. One of the men hissed. No need to talk about it, Lakshma. You're just making it sound worse. Maybe it'll turn out fine. Glancing around, I was able to see one of the police officers. It's not going to turn out fine. You know very well that this is not the first victim. Not the first? I'm applying for a transfer to another state. To hell with it. Okay. After the first police officer left, the man called Lakshman was standing there alone. What was that all about? Once again, I'm convinced that everything is far more complicated than expected. Of course, we never have it easy. Why should we? Life would be too boring otherwise. I have a feeling that Rose won't care about any of this. In that case, I will find out more on my own. I turn around to speak to the police officer. Excuse me, Lakshman, right? I took a couple of steps towards the policeman and he looked at me surprised. Yes? How can I get him to talk to me? Press him. Act interested. Mention that you knew the victim. Okay, if we mention the victim, I don't think he's gonna tell us something. Press him. I'm gonna say act interested. I overheard your conversation with the other officer. My name is Amala. I'm part of the task force from the British Embassy. I have to be honest, I'd be very interested to hear what you think about this murder. The locals don't say much, and any information could be valuable. Loyalty? Okay. I'm sorry. Why do you care about what happened here? Because I have a heart, sir. Not everyone can look at a dead body and say I'm completely fine. I'm pretty sure if I would ever come across a dead body, I would be traumatized for, 2 months? 3 months? Depending in what state that dead body was. Someone important to our team has gone missing, and I think it might be connected to what happened here. This is an unusual situation, isn't it? Unusual, yes, but no one wants to think about what actually happened here. That's why people won't tell you anything. They don't want to admit the truth in the first place. Respect! Let's go, girl! Let's go! Oh, I'm so proud of myself. Let me stop. What do you think happened here? Your approach was effective on your first try. Let's go. Let's go. I am a queen. I'm not sure if I should bring this up with you. I can honestly say that I don't know anything, and I'm only guessing. If anything awful is about to happen, it's best to know about it ahead of time rather than ignore it.
It's still unclear what's going to happen. Everyone says and thinks different things. However, one theory is worse than the others.
It's so hard to get a straight answer from him. I'll try to bluff. It's better than beating around the bush. But this isn't the first victim, is it? Lakishman looked at me, slight interest in his brown eyes.
So you know, I didn't see you at the crime scenes of the previous murders.
So it's true. Amir's not the only one.
The exact number of victims is so unknown. Some say this is the 5th. Some say it's the 7th.
Yeah, okay. Keep on stacking up the number, sir.
Yet others deny everything and claim that this is the first one.
Why does everyone think differently? Because no one wants to admit that something horrible is going on.
We don't have much experience with this. We usually deal with ordinary and isolated murders caused by money disputes or something simple like that.
The policeman looked perplexed as he glanced towards the man's body, limply sitting against the wall. Everyone moved around him, trying to avoid staring in his direction, as if getting closer would result in their death too.
Multiple ritual killings are not yet our area of expertise.
Multiple? Someone called out to Lakshman. He responded, waving his hand, and then returned to me.
Have a good day, miss. Take care of yourself. Or better, stay away from it all.
Yeah. I get what he said now. He's like, believe me, it's better if you just stay away. Lakshman turned around and headed away from the scene of the crime. I watched him go, confused. This is doing my head in. I'm learning new information, but all I get out of it are more questions. Feeling powerless, I frowned and pursed my lips, disappointed. It's best to discuss this with my colleagues. Lima should be able to help. She's a criminologist, after all. Well, where is Delia? Lima had returned to the alley looking for me. She had come to get me. Yes, I'm coming. We left the crime scene together. Oh, God. As soon as we were out on the street, I took a deep breath of fresh air. It was around lunchtime, and it was quite hot outside, but even in the heat, it was better than being stuck in that stuffy, filthy, and foul-smelling alley.
You're free to leave. We will visit the locations where the diplomat was last seen at a later time. Perhaps we can persuade the locals to tell us something more valuable than what the hotel staff told us. He didn't even say goodbye before taking the nearest rickshaw back to the hotel.
Rickshaw is a small cart pulled by a man. Ah, okay. Yeah, I watched him leave. We're not having it with this man. I can't believe he didn't tell us about the previous ritual killings. This changes the situation drastically. It seems like Rose is out of sorts again.
It's hard to be in a good mood when you are faced with such an unpleasant sight first thing in the morning. I was hoping to be done here as soon as possible, as I was. But it seems like everything's against it.
This investigation will be very long and difficult, much harder than we originally thought. Something evil is going on in Calcutta, and for some reason I'm almost sure that our diplomat was at the center of it.
An interesting theory, and most importantly, one that's so very optimistic.
I'm learning from you, Captain Lightwood. I'll tell my colleagues what I found out later. First, I need to put my own thoughts in order before I discuss anything. And they probably aren't keen to think more about what they saw right now.
If I may, I would like to suggest you all have a break and take your mind off things. A lot has fallen on your shoulders. You've all arrived in India for the first time and you're already swamped with work. Use the time off your boss gave you to rest. Use the time off your boss gave you to rest. There are many interesting things to do in Kolkata. Take a walk, relax, and get back to work later with a clear mind. After what we've seen, it's very hard to just go ahead and relax. However, that's exactly what you need.
Killian squared his shoulders, stretching.
Yes, I agree. In that case, I would advise you to visit the Victoria Memorial. It's very beautiful. There is also a sari shop nearby which may be of interest to the ladies.
Sounds interesting. Apart from the market and a couple of streets, I haven't really seen anything in Calcutta. Sorry for me having to say this. Like, I love clothes. I really do. And having a new outfit
is always nice, but I think we have worse things to worry about than me buying myself another gorgeous outfit. And the Victoria Memorial is considered one of the most striking landmarks in the city. Maybe I should invite someone for a walk? Ooh, we can invite Letton as well? Well, we're gonna go with Killian. Captain Lightwood, would you like to go for a walk? We could have a look around the neighborhood and see the memorial that Mr. Vaish mentioned. A faint smile touched Killian's lips. Sure, why not? Let's get some air and take a break from work. After saying our goodbyes to Lima and Ratan, we headed away from them. Let's have a beautiful day together, sir. We asked the driver to take us to the Victoria Memorial, as Ratan had suggested. How are you holding up? I mean, after the crime scene. How lovely that you started this conversation. I see no point in putting it off any further. What's the matter, Killian? Why have you been ignoring me today? Why would a furious Lima come to me and swear that you were trying to hide something from me? Can I expect respect and trust from you? Killian raised his eyes in surprise and immediately shook his head. No, please, you're mistaken. He was worried. That's not what happened. I just wanted to protect you. I understand that you still don't want to discuss what happened to you in the diplomat's room, but I clearly remember the way you looked. Oh, stop. Is he actually terrified? Was he terrified about what happened to us? He was afraid that it would get worse if we would come to the scene that quickly? Nah. You were terrified. Maybe you were horrified by the scratch closet, the nail, or something else, but believe me when I say that you look like you'd seen a ghost. I figured seeing a decapitated body would make you feel even worse, and we need you as an expert. Oh, so you tried to protect me? Yes, that's my job. I can see that this investigation is challenging you. Oh, that's so cute. I'd prefer it if you didn't do anything without discussing it with me first. Whatever you say, Mala. I didn't mean to ignore you or offend you. Killian is so cute. On the contrary, I'd like to be on good terms with you. No. Then let's discuss everything. Killian wanted to hide his smile and stay serious, but his mischievous grey eyes gave him away. Stop trying to pretend with me, sir. I already love you enough as it is. I smiled when I noticed it, and he smiled back at me. Ah, you have become a little closer. Nah. Let me stop. I'm such a stan. We stopped on a side street near Victoria Memorial Square. It was sunny, crowded, and very beautiful. It was immediately evident that we were in India. Colorful fabrics were everywhere, as well as noise and the scent of spices. Along the street, there were restaurants and souvenir shops made either for tourists or for wealthy locals. There was also a popular sari store. See the sari store at the end of the street? I think that's the one Mr. Vaish was talking about. We can go there if you want, and you can buy yourself something. Are you sure you won't feel like you're wasting your time off? No, I'm fine. Killian, don't make me fall in love. Let me stop. Killian looked away, seemingly deep in thought. To be honest, you look very beautiful already. Aww. Let me stop. I'm so sorry. He glanced at my outfit. Killian likes your outfit? I can only pick the right ones. He has my taste. Like everything I'm going for, every outfit I choose, he likes it. Love it. Ah, you're my man. And any outfit will look good on you. Aww. However, you really do look great in saris. Aww. I'm so sorry. So I don't mind taking the time to do this. Aww. I couldn't believe my ears. It felt like Killian had barely managed to utter those words and was very embarrassed, so I didn't put him on the spot. I would have put him on the spot. Just to make sure that I didn't imagine it at all. Thank you. Then let's go. Killian gave a subtle nod. I didn't have time for a custom-made sari, so I decided to choose something from the ones available in my size. The shop assistant kindly showed me several options that might have suited me. Huh. I'm gonna go with the green one. Let's go with the green. This green one is so elegant. This color has always looked good on me. I will take this one. I paid and left the store. I really enjoyed wearing saris. They made me feel especially beautiful and they were comfortable. Killian was waiting for me on the street. When he saw me, his gaze lingered on my figure, or rather on my new outfit. It's just like I said. Saris look great on you. Thank you again. So we walk by the memorial.
Yes, we shall. The sun shone brightly on the square in front of the museum. The memorial was surrounded by a lush green lawn where people sat and relaxed, picnicking or simply enjoying the scenery. The air was filled with the scent of freshly cut grass, and birdsong and quiet voices populated the landscape. Despite the scorching sun, it was pleasant here, thanks to the cool breeze making its way under the palo of my sari. Slightly awestruck, I looked at the memorial with interest. Massive and grandiose, it was adorned with luxurious stone decorations, combining British and Indian architectural styles. Fascinating, and to think that I could have missed out on this beauty. Everything I see in Calcutta is amazing. We haven't even left yet, but I already look forward to coming back here. A gust of wind ruffled our hair. A chestnut strand fell on Killian's forehead, and I barely had time to stop myself from brushing it off his face. What on earth am I thinking? That's funny. Stop it, Amala. Nah, continue, Amala. I'm cheering you on from the sidelines. My gaze went back to the captain. This time, Killian looked back at me. Yeah, keep on staring at me, come on. I wanted to say something, but I stumbled on the grass and almost fell. Oh, Killian caught me in time and took me by the elbow. It's a little early to be lying on the grass, Miss Khan. We haven't found a good spot yet. Let me just lay on the grass, sir. It's beautiful outside. The sari is so long, I'm not used to it. You can take my arm. It's better that way than having to carry you with a broken leg. You like to exaggerate, don't you? Only when necessary. We looked at each other again. Killian's grey eyes were smiling, obviously amused by our conversation. He tried to keep a straight face, but this only made the situation funnier. I gently took Killian's arm, feeling a little awkward. Nah, don't feel awkward. That's great. That's right. Oh. We continued our walk. It really became easier for me to walk, holding on to a strong man's arm. Girl, be independent. Let's rest under that tree. Excessive sun exposure can be dangerous. That I agree with. You don't even let your guard down on a simple walk. Is that what you're waiting for? Not the smile like he's like, you want me to let my guard down? Want me to do something nasty here? Something dirty? Let me stop. Oh, I'm sorry, but the connection between these two, it seems that between the two of us, I am the one letting my guard down. Yes. Hold his gaze, girl. Hold his gaze. I didn't look away from Killian's gaze. He stopped smiling and gave me a thoughtful look. The muscles of his arm tightened under my fingers and he frowned slightly. Aww. Getting sad. It really annoys me that you're pushing yourself so much in this case. He is so worried about us. I love this man. That's when you know that someone cares. When they're trying to protect you even though you're saying that you don't want to. The investigation promises to be difficult, and you're not used to such things. I don't want to see you in the middle of it all. There's no need to play hero. Killian spoke to me openly and honestly. The tone of the conversation was no longer light-hearted. Mala, I'm here to protect our team, and that includes you. If I realize that things are getting dangerous, please listen to me and take cover without arguing. What are you saying? Just say yes. No! Killian stood right in front of me, so I was forced to let go of his arm. He gently touched my shoulders, and I felt his large hot palms on my skin. Yes? Killian. He got my heart. At this point, he got my heart. Killian. He is such a beautiful person. He really is. He's like, I'm gonna worry way too much. Please promise me that you will do as I say in those circumstances. I love it. Oh my god, this was literally what I said. No. I don't want to stay away from any of this. Killian took a deep and slow breath, looking off to the side. She doesn't get you feeling, sir. Just tell her how you really feel. Tell her you're worried about her. You're more difficult than I expected. Not at all. You simply have to keep me in the loop. I want to know and see everything that's going on. You do? Really? Do you want to find out more about those beasts who killed someone so viciously? You think that if you run into them, you'll be spared? That they won't touch you? See? He's worried. See? Take the notes, girl. Take the notes. He is so worried. He's worried about you. Connect the dots, please. No, Mala. You'll be treated the same or worse. You are a woman. He frowned, giving me a meaningful look. This is not even being a sexist. He's not a sexist. He's just saying it as it is. He's like, you are not just anyone. You are also a girl. Like, if they would want to, if they're really those horrible people, they could also want to force themselves on you. You are a woman. I'm not saying that it can't happen to a man as well, but I would think that that's what he means right now when he said you are a woman. They have no mercy nor empathy. See? They don't care. I've seen what kind of people it's capable of, and you want to be a part of all this? His gray eyes looked like gathering thunderstorms, ready for a lightning strike. But despite everything, his hands touched me gently. His palm slid higher, taking a strand of my hair and softly tucking it behind my ear. I didn't move, completely absorbed in the moment. You don't need all this rubbish. Oh, Killian. Aww. The lawn no longer smelled of freshly cut grass. I was surrounded by his scent. Cedar, pine needles, and mint. I frowned as I looked away. My thoughts were getting confusing. I don't need protection. I'm used to dealing with everything on my own. Girl, but you've never been in a situation like this. Look, I understand her because I love to be independent as well. But you, as an independent woman, also have to understand. You don't just have to understand. You have to realize when it's time to get help. You can't do everything in this world on your own. You are going to need help somewhere in life. And you know what's really gross? What's respectable? When you are capable to ask for help. Because not everyone is capable of help, especially in dire situations when someone is traumatized or insanely depressed. I know what I'm talking about. Asking for help is commendable. It's so respectable. Please just know when it's time to ask for help. What did you have to deal with, Amala? Ooh, Killian, are you also that intelligent like me? He didn't let me go. He was still standing close, looking down at me. With family problems, with loneliness, with overwhelming responsibility. Ooh, feel that. And I don't want to get soft because of your protection, Killian. Don't cuddle me. Ooh, girl. His face, he's like, I'm sorry, what? Nothing bad will happen to me if I look more into this matter. Girl, you are literally going to be the next one taken. At this point, you're experiencing the same things that those people were. Stop trying to protect me. Why? Let yourself be protected. That doesn't mean that you don't have, that you can't be independent. It just means that someone cares enough about you to want to look out for you. Killian pursed his lips in displeasure. Who are you trying to be brave for? Do you think I'll shame you if you show that you might need protection? Killian, This man is my soulmate. This man is my soulmate right there. He's my soulmate. Like, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Oh my god. That's why I'm here, to keep you all safe from harm. I started breathing heavily, struggling with unwelcome feelings swirling inside me. I don't want you to keep me out of the investigation. Fine, I won't, but then stay closer to me so I can keep you safe. Can I at least ask you for that? He looked into my eyes. Is it so hard not to rush headfirst into danger? You can see what's going on. This is where it gets really dangerous. Even if all this crap is not related to our diplomat, there are a psychopath in Calcutta who kill people. You don't need protection in this place, do you? You'll handle this yourself? Don't be stupid. I shook my head, pulling away from him. Don't call me stupid. Oh, I can't with this woman. I am not pleased with this woman in this episode. I really am not. Like, she's not able to connect the dots. Like, not everyone is going to want bad. Not everyone is going to want to take advantage of you or hurt you. There are actually people out there that will care about you. Killian jerked forward, grabbing my arm. We both froze, looking into each other's eyes. He seemed surprised by his own reaction. His fingers slowly let go of me. It's a shame that we're colleagues and that we met here. Ooh! Killian said this because you have a very good relationship. That. Killian awkwardly looked away as if in a daze. Taking his hands away from me and crossing his arms over his chest, he took a step back, trying to pull himself together. Well, that's all I wanted to say. We can keep walking now. Not him getting red. Not him blushing. Think about what I said. Don't be silly. But of course, it's up to you to decide. I didn't say a word. He offered me his arm again so that I could hold on to him while walking on the grass. Well done, Amala. On top of everything else, here's another complication. I took Killian's arm and we continued on. We reached a large tree, whose rich green crown sheltered us well from the sun. There we could rest and cool off with a drink. I feel like it will be really hot tomorrow. It's getting dark already, but it's only getting hotter. Yeah, I think so too. I'll buy you some lemonade and then I'll take you home. You've had enough excitement for today. I'm flattered by your concern, Captain Lightwood. If you keep being sarcastic, Amala, I'll buy you plain water. That's funny. Don't take it to heart. Killian waved his hand at me, heading toward the vendor to buy us lemonade. I love Killian. He literally is me. He's literally me. When I got home, I was surprised to find it empty. No one was there, despite the door being courteously left open, presumably for me. I called out to Santa and Mrs. Chauhan several times, but no one responded. That's actually pretty risky to leave the door open. What? They could have just, I don't know. I mean, that would also be strange since they don't know us, and that would be a little too excessive to expect them to make an extra key. But leaving the door open, really? That I think that's a little risky. That's a little dangerous. Oh well, it seems like I have the house all to myself. I need to find a library and look through books. Ritual murders are always tied to religion, and India is a very religious country. Religious denomination is highly dependent on each specific state. Ratan said that decapitation is a very important sign. Huh? Suddenly the light in the corridor went out. Again! I froze, looking around nervously. Ugh, the electricity in Calcutta. Oh my god, that's so funny. The only thing I love about us in this story is that she's always insanely impulsive. She's like, again. That's funny. I remembered Priyanka telling me that power outages were a regular occurrence there, and that you just needed to have candles and matches on hand. I walked to the dresser and began rummaging through the drawers, searching for candles. I didn't want to be left alone in the dark. The memories from the gloomy and scary hotel room immediately came back to me. It was hard to find what I was looking for, as I had to feel my way through the drawers at random. But the darkness bothered me, so I kept searching. Yes, got it. I found a candle and a candlestick and a box of matches. I lit it up, went to look for the home library. Books in India are not cheap, so every wealthy family wanted to have a home library as a sign of their status. The Chauhans were probably no different. Wow, my search did not take long. I entered the room, immediately placing the candle on the floor. But how are you supposed to be able to read with such little light? I wasn't sure about what to look for and where, but I began my search anyway. Sun symbol, moon symbol, decapitated, drained of blood. I browsed through the books and skimmed the contents, looking for something about religious symbolism. It was difficult to navigate. An unfamiliar library, especially in the semi-darkness. Eventually, I found a book that was close enough to what I was looking for. Without realizing it, I began reading aloud. The sun is a symbol of power and creation, absolute strength, and the beginning of everything. The crescent moon is a symbol of immortality, wisdom, and mind control. I already knew that. Gleich. But the symbol at the crime scene linked them together. The crescent moon was swallowing up the sun. I haven't seen this anywhere else before. I put the book aside and began to ponder. The sun is a symbol of physical strength and power, while the crescent moon represents mental strength and wisdom. If we put them together, we get absolute greatness, wisdom and strength, invincibility. Ritual murders are always about worshipping someone or something. Our case is no exception. I'm sure of that. I wonder who do the Calcutta murderers worship? Whose greatness? If you say it like that, I think the woman you saw in that underworld or something. It should depend on the kind of Hinduism that is practiced here. I started going through the shelves again, looking for books on Hinduism. I found a classic literature book with some religious myth and well-known facts, but I could not find anything relevant. What do the Chauhans believe in? They must believe in something. Everyone else in Calcutta does. But why is there not a single book on their denomination? Ooh, they want you. They work for them. If I remember correctly, Vaishnavism, Shaivism, and Scatism are the most popular denomination in West Bengal. Suddenly, a gust of wind came out of nowhere and my candle went out. Ooh. Huh? The floorboard creaked behind my back. I was not alone. People, the episodes always end up with us being left alone in the dark and us hearing footsteps. That's so ridiculous. That's so funny. Anyways, yeah. That was episode 4. And I like it. I really do. The story is really interesting in my eyes. What I can't understand is that our character can read between the lines and is literally being this risky. Like, at that extreme, it's stupid. You can't deal with everything on your own. Sooner or later, you're gonna need help. I understand that you wouldn't want to tell them about what she saw when she was in the room of the diplomat, but you could say that you are experiencing the same symptoms as the diplomat. Everyone knows about the symptoms that this diplomat had, and we had the exact same thing. The exact same feeling. So, anyways, I love Killian. He's actually such a sweetheart. And yeah, that was it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye!